Hello and welcome back to the Sport Optics Studio, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Jace, and we are back with Carlos like he never left.
Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, you too, man, as always. And today, we are going to be talking about some reticle options in the Nightforce line of scopes. They have plenty of options depending on exactly what your use case is, and a lot of personal preference, and some really awesome options, if I might add. I am personally a huge fan of the Mill XT. I have used it plenty, just to throw that in there. But with that being said, I'm going to let Carlos take it away.
Like you said, when you go over to the nightforceoptics.com reticle page, you're going to see a lot of options. So it can be a little bit intimidating. I'm going to make it super easy for you. Let's talk about the three biggest things that you need to know before choosing a Nightforce optic reticle. So what are you doing? Are you hunting? Are you shooting competitively? Answer those. Or are you doing a little bit of both with the same scope? Do you need a first or second focal plane? We have a lot of options in both. Yep. And do you need mil or minute of angle? If you don't know what those use cases are, or what any of those nomenclatures are, we should go and get a little bit of education online. There's a lot of good resources out there for choosing minute of angle or mil, as well as first or second focal plane. So
we're that resource. Look at our video we did on it.
There you go. My man, good stuff. We do really have something for everyone. If you need something that is very minimalistic, we have something called the Forceplex. It's like a traditional styled hunting reticle. Very bare bones. It's for the person that is going to zero at their desired range, and typically do a holdover or hold under from there, without the kind of like intelligent or mil or minute of angle grid that follows after that. If you made it this far in the video, I'm going to throw you a bone and make it super easy on choosing a Nightforce reticle. Our most popular reticles are the MOAR reticle, the Mil C reticle. Those are both in first or second focal plane, and we have multiple variants of both of those. And they also have the XT version of both. So the MOA XT and the Mil XT, which is Christmas tree. We do have everything from the Forceplex to the XT Christmas tree series reticles, all the way up to the Tremor 3 and Tremor 5. So let's just talk about a little bit of the MOAR. So the MOAR is available in both first and second focal plane in pretty much all of our families, our big SHV, NX8, and the ATAC-R families. It's featuring a 1 minute of angle kind of grid or backbone if you're needing to do some measurements, holdovers, holdoffs, those kinds of things. And it has something that we like to call a 4 minute of angle kill box. So it does give you like a plex in the center with a free floated plus sign, or a kill box that is very easy to just pull up on a target and pull the trigger very quickly. And if you need some type of refined measurements after that, it's just a 1 minute of angle ruler after that. The Mil C has a free floating center dot, very small. It's super easy to just put your eye on the center of the target, find that little dot, and pull the trigger. It's really designed to be more precise, a really precise aiming point with that center dot. And after that, you have 2/10 mil graduations for your holds. And the XT variant of that has an entire 2/10 mil grid. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. It's very intuitive, very simplistic. It's on the more minimalistic side of the Christmas tree reticles. After that, we've got the Tremor 3 and Tremor 5 from Horus Vision. If you're familiar with those, you know what a handy tool they are. At first glance, they can be very intimidating. Go check out Horus Vision's website. They have an awesome reticle simulator in there where you can kind of put in your ballistic data and play around on their website with how to use those in the field. It's a very handy tool, and it helps us out because then we sell the reticle. But just for the guys that don't know, let's talk about the Tremor series of reticles. The Tremor series of reticles, they have so much going on. They have measurement tools, tools that you can use for movers, tools that you can use for time of flight wind dot deflection points on the reticle. So instead of holding for mils and minute of angle of wind, you could actually hold for mile per hour if you know what gun number you are. So there's a lot going on. You have a mil radian grid and then mile per hour wind dots that allow you to engage a medium-sized target out to intermittent to long distances very quickly. So why would I choose a Tremor 3 reticle versus one of the more refined precision or XT reticles that we offer? If you're shooting something in a wide field, like let's say 200 to 800 yards, and you just plan to do it very quickly, and they're not super small targets, Tremor 3 is an awesome option. It's going to get you on target very quickly. Now, what if those targets are much smaller? What if they're a little bit further away? You need a little bit better, more refined of a wind call, and you don't mind taking the time to range your target and just do a very uber precise hold. The XT reticles are going to help you out with that. They're a little bit more refined, a little bit thinner on the line width, and it gives you a little bit more of a precise shot instead of shooting within a mile per hour bracket. So are you shooting something fast, or are you shooting something small and you want to hit the dead center of it? Those are the questions that I like to ask before choosing an XT or a Tremor series reticle. And I like them both. They both work different people or different use cases. But yeah, do you have anything on that?
I don't think so. I believe that when you say you have something for everybody, you quite literally do, from the most simple grandpappy's crosshair basically to the reticles that have everything but the kitchen sink and everything in between. So.
And it's fun to see the graduation of shooter. I, like most people, started off with a Plex reticle, and then it was mil dots, and then it was the Tremor 3s, and I kind of settled right around the XT because it really fills a lot of my needs. I hunt with the mil XT reticle, and when I show my friends that aren't as into the precision rifle game as I am, they'll look at that reticle and say, there is a lot going on. You can't use this for hunting. But when you kind of sit down and talk with them about the intricacies of the reticle and kind of break it down for them, it's very easy to explain why you would need something like that to correct, to hold for wind. There's a lot of different reasons why you would need it. And believe it or not, most newer shooters are getting into a more advanced reticle. It's pretty fun to see the changing times in the precision rifle world, where it was, well, just work your way up. Now people are kind of jumping into the mil Cs and the mil XTs, which I think is great for the culture.
Yeah, I would have to agree, and I've seen that on my side as well. As just like you said, and with most people, somebody who came from something as simple as it gets and moving, into, more sophisticated, intelligent reticles, whatever nomenclature you want to use. And like that mil XT, for instance, we've talked about it at length, but it's probably my personal favorite in the Nightforce line. And like, seriously, not trying to blow smoke, but it's one of the best reticles, period, for how it just kind of culminates, simplicity with more information. And the key is to don't get intimidated by stuff like this. At a first glance, yeah, obviously there's a lot going on compared to what a lot of people are used to. But if you just take a little bit of time to kind of learn what's going on, and you do a little bit of practice with it and watch some YouTube videos, you're gonna be just fine.
That's right. That's right. Now, what about spotting? I mean, once you get good at shooting, you want to help your friends out, and having a reticle and a spotter is going to help you do that.
Yep.
We do have a spotter. It's a 6-36 compact field spotter. We'll do a separate video on that, but we do have 3 reticle options available in that are complementary to the reticles that we have in our rifle scopes. It's a first focal plane spotting scope, uber compact, but the reticles in that are going to help you tell you how wide your target is, so you know how refined your wind call needs to be, and it's going to give you a grid to do kind of like a talk on to a target if your shooter is having trouble finding it, as well as correcting his hits and misses. So spotting reticles, we've put a lot of thought into those. They're usable at high and low magnification. There's 3 first focal plane options available. Check them out.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to have something like this. I mean, reticle spotting scopes in particular have been around for a little while, but we've definitely here very recently seen a shift where they're becoming more popular. I mean, for a long time we see shooting duos. If one's spotting for the other, he just uses his rifle scope, right? But to have something like this, you can link up and you know exactly what you need your call to be is pretty cool.
Right. Agreed.
Okay, well, pretty straightforward, easy enough, guys. I know, again, there are a lot of options, but you have plenty of resources to help break down and explain the differences. And again, like I mentioned earlier, we ourselves have resources on choosing between first focal plane, second focal plane, minutes, mils, and everything in between. And please, if you need it broke down any further between any of these options, any of these reticles, do not hesitate to give us a call anytime. We are happy to talk about all this stuff at length and get you in the scope and reticle that you need. So with all that being said, can't thank you enough. As always, again, like, share, subscribe, all that beautiful stuff. And thanks for being here. God bless.